Hello students, welcome to the lecture on human activities, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the different types of human activities, describe in brief the primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary activities, explain the types of agriculture and discuss the different types of industries and their significance in development of the country. Let us start with human activities. Human activities which generate income are known as economic activities. The economic activities are the set of activities carried out by human beings to satisfy their needs. The economic activities produce goods and give services that people need or wish. The economic activities have three factors: production, commercialization and distribution, consumption. Primary group employs people to collect or produce natural resources from the land or sea like farming and fishing. Secondary group makes or manufacture goods like car assembly. Tertiary group provides services for people like the hospitals. Quaternary groups is a new definition related with high technology services, industry that carries out research and provides information and advice. Primary activities. These economic activities are directly tied to the extraction of Earth's resources such as land, water, vegetation, building materials and minerals. Such economic activities occur at the beginning of the production cycle, where people live in close contact with the resources of the land. Such primary economic activities produce basic foodstuff and raw materials for industry and may include agriculture, hunting and gathering, pastoral farming, crop cultivation, forestry, mining, logging and fishing. The earliest human beings depended on their immediate environment for their sustenance. They subsisted on A. animals which they hunted, and B. the edible plants which they gathered from forests in the vicinity. Primitive societies depended on wild animals. People located in very cold and extremely hot climates survived on hunting. Gathering is practiced in regions with harsh climatic conditions. It often involves primitive societies who extract both plants and animals to satisfy their needs for food, shelter and clothing. This type of activity requires a small amount of capital investment and operates at a very low level of technology. The yield per person is very low or little, or no surplus is produced. Gathering is practiced in high latitude zones which include northern Canada, northern Eurasia and southern Chile. Low latitude zones such as the Amazon basin, tropical Africa, northern fringe of Australia and the interior parts of Southeast Asia. At some stage in history, with the realization that hunting is an unsustainable activity, human beings might have thought of domestication of animals. People living in different climatic conditions selected and domesticated animals found in those regions. Depending on the geographical factors and technological development, animal rearing today is practiced either at the subsistence or at the commercial level. Nomadic herding or pastoral nomadic is a primitive subsistence activity in which the herders rely on animals for food, clothing, shelter, tools and transport. They move from one place to another along with their livestock depending on the amount and quality of pastures and water. Each nomadic community occupies a well-identified territory as a matter of tradition. The process of migration from plain areas to pastures on mountains during summers and again from mountain pastures to plain during winters is known as transhumance. A commercial life to creaking is more organized and capital intensive. Commercial livestock ranching is essentially associated with Western cultures and is practiced on permanent ranches. These ranches cover large areas and are divided into a number of parcels which are fenced to regulate the grazing. Agriculture involves the deliberate human effort to modify a portion of the earth's surface through cultivation of crops and the rearing of livestock for sustenance or for economic gain. Agriculture is practiced under multiple combinations of physical and socio conditions, which gives rise to different types of agricultural systems. The following are the main agricultural systems. 1. Subsistence agriculture is one in which the farming are as consume all or nearly so of the products locally grown. It can be grouped in two categories: primitive subsistence agriculture and intensive subsistence agriculture. Primitive subsistence agriculture or shifting cultivation is widely practiced by many tribes in the tropics, especially in Africa, South and Central America, and Southeast Asia. It consists of numerous forms of shifting cultivation in tropical forests and nomadic herding practiced mainly in developing countries. This type of agriculture is largely found in densely populated regions of monsoon Asia. This is also practiced in developing countries. Farmers increase their inputs of human labor and fertilizer and water to reap a higher yield per area of cultivated land to produce enough to feed their families and sell the surplus. There are two types of intensive subsistence agriculture. 1. Intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by wet paddy cultivation. This type of agriculture is characterized by dominance of the rice crop. Land holdings are very small due to the high density of population. 2. Due to the difference in relief, climate, soil, and some of the other geographical factors, it is not practical to grow paddy in many parts of monsoon Asia. Wheat, soybean, barley, and sorghum are grown in northern China, Manchuria, North Korea, and North Japan. Plantation agriculture was introduced by the Europeans in colonies situated in the tropics, a form of industrialized agriculture found primarily in developing countries in the tropics. It is a permanent agriculture in which cash crops such as bananas, rubber, cotton, oil palm, pineapples, sugarcane, coffee, tea, and cocoa are cultivated and harvested for sale in developed countries. Extensive commercial grain cultivation. Commercial grain cultivation is practiced in the interior parts of semi-arid lands of the mid-latitudes. Mixed farming. Mixed farms are moderate in size, and usually the crops associated with it are wheat, barley, oats, rye, maize, fodder, and root crops. This form of agriculture is found in the highly developed parts of the world. Example, northwestern Europe, eastern North America, parts of Eurasia, and the temperate latitudes of southern continents. Dairy farming. Dairy is the most advanced and efficient type of rearing of milch animals. Mediterranean agriculture. Mediterranean agriculture is highly specialized commercial agriculture. It is practiced in the countries on either side of the Mediterranean Sea in Europe and in North Africa, from Tunisia to Atlantic coast, Southern California, Central Chile, southwestern parts of South Africa, and south and southwestern parts of Australia. Gardening and horticulture. Market gardening and horticulture specialize in the cultivation of high-value crops such as vegetables, fruits, and flowers solely for the urban markets. Farms are small and are located where there are good transportation links with the urban center where high-income group of consumers is located. Cooperative farming. A group of farmers form a cooperative society by pooling in their resources voluntarily for more efficient and profitable farming. Cooperative societies help farmers to procure all important inputs of farming, sell the products at the most favorable terms, and help in processing of quality products at cheaper rates. Collective farming. The basic principle behind these types of farming is based on social ownership of the means of production and collective labor. Mining. The use of minerals in ancient times was largely confined to the making of tools, utensils, and weapons. Factors affecting mining activity. The profitability of mining operations thus depends on two main factors. 1. Physical factors include the size, grade, and the mode of occurrence of the deposits. 2. Economic factors such as the demand for the mineral, technology available and used, capital to develop infrastructure, and the labor and transport costs. Depending on the mode of occurrence and the nature of the ore, mining is of two types: surface and underground mining. The surface mining, also known as open cast mining, it is the easiest and the cheapest way of mining minerals that occur close to the surface. When the ore lies deep below the surface, underground mining method, shaft method, has to be used. In this method, vertical shafts have to be sunk from where underground galleries radiate to reach the minerals. Secondary activities. These economic activities add value to the raw materials by changing their form or combining them into useful and hence more valuable commodity. Secondary activities are concerned with manufacturing, processing and construction, infrastructure industries. Manufacturing. Manufacturing involves a full array of production, from handicrafts to molding iron and steel and stamping out plastic toys to assembling delicate computer components or space vehicles. Manufacturing may be done with modern power and machinery, or it may still be very primitive. Characteristics of modern large-scale manufacturing. Modern large-scale manufacturing has the following characteristics: specialization of skills or methods of production. The craft method factories produce only a few pieces which are made to order. Mechanization. Mechanization refers to using gadgets which accomplish tasks. Technological innovation. Technological innovations through research and development strategy are an important aspect of modern manufacturing for quality control, eliminating waste and inefficiency, and combating pollution. Organizational structure and stratification. Modern manufacturing is characterized by a complex machine technology, extreme specialization and division of labor for producing more goods with less effort and low costs, vast capital, large organizations, executive bureaucracy, uneven geographic distribution. Major concentrations of modern manufacturing have flourished in a few number of places. These cover less than 10% of the world's land area. These nations have become the centers of economic and political power. Access to market. The developed regions of Europe, North America, Japan, and Australia provide large global markets as the purchasing power of the people is very high. The densely populated regions of South and Southeast Asia also provide large markets. Access to raw material. Raw material used by industries should be cheap and easy to transport. Access to labor supply. Labor supply is an important factor in the location of industries. Some types of manufacturing still requires skilled labor. Access to sources of energy. Industries which use more power are located close to the source of the energy supply, such as the aluminium industry. Access to transportation and communication facilities. Speedy and efficient transport facilities to carry raw materials to the factory and to move finished goods to the market are essential for the development of industries. Government policy. Governments adopt regional policies to promote balanced economic development and hence set up industries in particular areas. Access to agglomeration. Economies links between industries. Many industries benefit from nearness to a leader industry and other industries. These benefits are termed as agglomeration economies. Footloose industries. Footloose industries can be located in a wide variety of places. They are not dependent on any specific raw material, weight losing or otherwise. Classification of manufacturing industries. Manufacturing industries are classified on the basis of their size, inputs, raw materials, output products and ownership. Industries based on size. The amount of capital invested, number of workers employed and volume of production determine the size of industry. Household industries or cottage manufacturing. It is the smallest manufacturing unit. The craftsmen or artisans use local raw materials and simple hand tools to produce everyday goods in their homes with the help of their family members or part-time labor. Small-scale manufacturing is distinguished from household industries by its production techniques and place of manufacture. A workshop outside the home or cottage of the producer. This type of manufacturing uses local raw material, simple power-driven machines and semi-skilled labor. Large-scale manufacturing involves a large market, various raw materials, enormous energy, specialized workers, advanced technology, assembly line mass production and large capital. On the basis of the system of large-scale manufacturing, the world's major industrial regions may be grouped under two broad types, namely traditional large-scale industrial regions which are thickly clustered in a few more developed countries, high-technology large-scale industrial regions which have diffused to less developed countries. Agro-based industries. Agro-processing involves the processing of raw materials from the field and the farm into finished products for rural and urban markets. Mineral-based industries. These industries use minerals as a raw material. Chemical-based industries. Such industries use natural chemical minerals. Example, mineral oil, petroleum is used in petrochemical industry. Forest-based raw material using industries. The forests provide many major and minor products which are used as raw materials. Animal-based industries. Leather for leather industry and wool for woolen textiles are obtained from animals. Besides, ivory is also obtained from elephants' tusks. The industry whose products are used to make other goods by using them as raw materials is basic industry. The consumer goods industries produced goods which are consumed by consumers directly. Industries based on ownership. Public sector industries are owned and managed by governments. Private sector industries are owned by individual investors. Joint sector industries are managed by joint stock companies, or sometimes the private and public sectors together establish and manage the industries. These are based on heavy industry, often located near coal fields and engaged in metal smelting, heavy engineering, chemical manufacture or textile production. Traditional industrial regions can be recognized by high proportion of employment in manufacturing industry, high density housing, often of inferior type, and poor services. This has been one of the major industrial regions of Europe for a long time. Coal and iron and steel formed the basis of the economy, but as the demand for coal declined, the industry started shrinking. High technology, or simply high-tech, is the latest generation of manufacturing activities. It is best understood as the application of intensive research and development R&D efforts leading to the manufacture of products of an advanced scientific and engineering character. The iron and steel industry forms the base of all other industries, and therefore it is called a basic industry. It is basic because it provides raw material for other industries such as machine tools used for further production. It may also be called a heavy industry because it uses large quantities of bulky raw materials and its products are also heavy. The industry is one of the most complex and capital-intensive industries and is concentrated in the advanced countries of North America, Europe and Asia. Cotton textile industry has three subsectors, that is handloom, powerloom and mill sectors. Handloom sector is labor intensive and provides employment to semi-skilled workers. It requires small capital investment. Tertiary activities. The activities that serve as the connection between the producers and consumers of products are tertiary activities. The tertiary sector of the economy is the service industry. This sector provides services to the general population and to businesses. Tertiary activities include both production and exchange. The production involves the provision of services that are consumed. Exchange involves trade, transport and communication facilities that are used to overcome distance. Tertiary activities therefore involve the commercial output of services rather than the production of tangible goods. There are given some types of tertiary activities. Trade and commerce. Trade is essentially buying and selling of items produced elsewhere. All the services in retail and wholesale trading or commerce are specifically intended for profit. Retail trading services. This is the business activity concerned with the sale of goods directly to the consumers. Retail trading is done through fixed stores, large shops. Wholesale trading service. This is the business activity concerned with the bulk selling of goods through merchants and supply houses, not through retail stores. Wholesalers act as intermediaries between retail stores and manufacturers. Transport and communication services. Transport is a service or facility by which persons, manufactured goods and property are physically carried from one location to another. It is an organized industry created to satisfy man's basic need of mobility. Demand for transport is influenced by the size of population. The larger the population size, the greater is the demand for transport. Communication services involve the transmission of words and messages, facts and ideas. The invention of writing preserved messages and helped to make communication dependent on means of transport. The use of telecommunications is linked to the development of electrical technology. It has revolutionized communications because of the speed with which messages are sent. Services occur at many different levels. Some are geared to industry, some to people, and some to both industry and people. Example, the transport systems. Informal or non-formal sector. Personal services are made available to the people to facilitate their work in daily life. The workers migrate from rural areas in search of employment and are unskilled. They are employed in domestic services as housekeepers, cooks and gardeners. This segment of workers is unorganized. The trend in employment in this sector has been increasing while it has remained unchanged or decreasing in the primary and secondary activities. The warmer places around the Mediterranean coast and the west coast of India are some of the popular tourist destinations in the world. Others include winter sports region found mainly in mountainous areas and various scenic landscapes and national parks which are scattered. Since the last century, the demand for holidays has increased rapidly. Improvements in the standard of living and increased leisure time permit many more people to go on holidays for leisure. The opening up of tourist areas has been aided by improvement in transport facilities. Travel is easier by car with better road systems. Most people from colder regions expect to have warm, sunny weather for beach holidays. This is one of the main reasons for the importance of tourism in southern European and the Mediterranean lands. Many people like to spend their holidays in an attractive environment, which often means mountains, lakes, spectacular sea coasts and landscapes not completely altered by man. The history and art of an area have potential attractiveness. These attract tourists with a penchant for experiencing ethnic and local customs. Entrepreneurs are the empowered workers of the quaternary sector and the slowly emerging quinary sector. Quaternary activities. Quaternary activities involve some of the following: the collection, production, and dissemination of information, or even the production of information. Quaternary activities center on research, development, and may be seen as an advanced form of services involving specialized knowledge, technical skills, and administrative competence. Quinary activities. The highest level of decision makers or makers performs quinary activities. These are subtly different from the knowledge-based industries that the quinary sector in general deals with. Quinary activities are services that focus on the creation, rearrangement, and interpretation of new and existing ideas, data interpretation, and the use and evaluation of new technologies. Outsourcing or contracting out is given work to an outside agency to provide efficiency and reduce costs. When outsourcing involves transferring work to overseas locations, it is described by the term offshoring, although both offshoring and outsourcing are used together. Business activities that are outsourced include information technology (IT), human resources, customer support, and call center services, and at times also manufacturing and engineering. Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Human activities which generate income are known as economic activities. Primary activities are directly tied to the extraction of Earth's resources such as land, water, vegetation, building materials, and minerals. Secondary activities are concerned with manufacturing, processing and construction, infrastructure, industries. Tertiary activities are the activities that serve as the connections between the producers and consumers of products are tertiary activities. Quaternary activities are centered on research, development, and may be seen as an advanced form of services involving specialized knowledge, technical skills, and administrative competence. Subsistence agriculture is one in which the farming are as consume all or nearly so of the products locally grown. Plantation agriculture was introduced by the Europeans in colonies situated in the tropics. Quinary activities are services that focus on the creation, rearrangement, and interpretation of new and existing ideas.